this audio session, I do a few things here. One is I use the perception of time, and I use it in such a way to have you think about a negative belief that's been holding you back. And I add time to it, like 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, so that you can build up that experience that says, no thanks, don't want that. And then I contrast it with a highly beneficial belief, something that would be a lot more empowering for you. Now, power is the ability to do. So, just like Nike says, just do it. One of the best ways to be able to turn your life around is to actually make something move, right? Like Einstein says, nothing happens until something moves. So in order to make something move, you have to have that kind of power, the ability to do. So this audio session is designed to help you remove limiting beliefs while increasing your belief in what you can do and actually doing something about it. All right, so this is about removing limiting beliefs and increasing your own personal power. So to continue, I'm hoping that you'll have a limiting belief in mind that you really would like to be having changed. And this could be something that's preventing you from growing or preventing you from moving forward, or it's causing you to feel stuck, or perhaps it's some kind of limitation in your understanding where you're just not quite able to see the solutions. So I'm going to hope that you have that kind of belief in mind, and as soon as you do, then we can begin. So get yourself into a nice, easy, relaxed position. Let your body go loose and limp like a rag doll. And begin to think about that limiting belief. As you think about your belief, notice how it has affected you to this point of time. Notice some of the things you haven't done. Notice some of the opportunities that you haven't acted on. Notice some of the behaviors that you wouldn't have done. And then begin to notice, how does that make you feel? Is it a heavy energy? Is it a good energy? Is it a bad energy? Do you feel stuck? Now, take that belief and imagine living with it while moving 6 months into the future. 6 months of carrying with you this limitation. 6 months of all the indecision. 6 months with a lack of progress, lack of movement. 6 months of more excuses. And notice, as you go through this, 6 months of not doing what you want to do. 6 months of believing this is who you are. 6 months carrying with you this extra weight. 6 months in the future. How does it feel with this? If you were to look in the mirror while feeling this way, do you look more alive or less alive? Do you look more happy? Just get a good look at yourself and notice the energy that comes with 6 months of that limiting belief and limitation of behavior. Now, imagine moving a year into the future. A year of taking this belief with you so that it's controlling and regulating your reality. 1 year of taking with you all the baggage, all the burden, all the opportunities that you've lost because you haven't been able to seed. Taking with you the energy, taking with you all the disappointments, taking with you all the self-defeating behavior for a year. 1 year of beating yourself up? What do people say when you talk about your dreams and you have this? How do you look in the mirror now? More alive? Less alive? Now, imagine 5 years into the future. 5 years of taking with you the lost opportunities. 5 years of taking with you all the self-doubt. 5 years of taking with you that energy. 5 years of excuses. 5 years of not doing what you want. 5 years of being trapped in that small world. Notice how that feels. Do you feel proud of yourself? Do you feel good about yourself? Notice where in your body you feel the energy. Imagine looking in the mirror now after having all these burdens. Do you look more happy? Do you look more alive? What do people say about you now? What do you say about yourself now? Now we move 20 years into the future. 20 years of this being who you are. 20 years of bringing with you disappointments, doubt, disbelief, excuses. 20 years of dragging with you the energy of not doing what you want to do. 20 years of living with this limitation. 20 years. Really feel how this feels. Now look in the mirror. Who are you? And look back 20 years and notice the consequence of carrying this little belief with you through time and into this future, and what it feels like while realizing how this one little belief carries with it this burden. Every decision. As you look in the mirror, do you look more alive or less alive? What do others say about you? What excuses do you have? As you extend this belief deep into the future, past the point of your life, and look back and realize that was your life, you can notice how much life that belief sucked out of you. Look at that mirror before you pass on, and look at the toll this belief has taken on you. Feel that energy. Does that energy feel dead or alive? Now really realize and notice that that little belief, coupled with any other little beliefs that hasn't worked positively for you, has this effect. And now you can understand how that future all begins by carrying something that doesn't work for you. It's lack of movement, lack of behavior, lack of belief in yourself. Notice how that affects you. Feel that like a snowball through the years, getting stronger, deeper, heavier. Do you feel like you can move? Now go back in time, all the way back to this time and place, here, and realize how that belief you had has an effect on the bigger picture. So when you're ready to really understand that each motion, each belief that you have, each behavior has a huge overall effect on your life, and realize that when you come back to now, you can be happy that that has not happened. So when you are ready, you can let go of that, and then imagine what it would be like to float outside your body and take a look at yourself and all of you that also has the opportunity to purposefully design and create the future that you can picture feeling and sounding so much better, while you can be grateful when you're ready to discover that you have this awareness, which comes with a choice to make the change that is required in order to create a life that is a lot closer to your ideal. Now, think of the new empowering belief. Notice where in your body you feel it and how you represent it. And begin to notice now, as you're beginning to accept this belief being true for yourself, you may realize how it begins to open up portions of the boundaries of the past, where you notice this is while opening up the possibilities for new behaviors. If you were to imagine that this, right now, became your belief, how would you be looking at the world now differently if you believed this now? If you allow this to integrate inside your being, so you could stop and begin to see the world through this new set of beliefs. Now, while firing these neurons that are wiring together, imagine having this and moving into the future with this belief. 1 month in the future. 1 month of bringing with you new opportunities. 1 month of new possibilities, new experiences. 1 month of new behaviors. 1 month of now doing things differently. Inside, your mind can continue opening up possibilities as you begin to do things you didn't do before. Just notice how many more opportunities to have this month. Perhaps what behaviors are surprising to yourself. Now that you are noticing the world differently through this positive perception, belief of yours, in your reflection, if you were to look in the mirror now and look inside of it and notice it's on you as you look at the reflection that you begin to see. Now, that you've done this for a month, allowing yourself to really appreciate what you are seeing. Now that you've done this for a month, it's differently new to you, yet you're beginning to notice more skills, memories, lessons, understandings, and deeper resources inside yourself. Do you look more alive? How does your energy feel? Perhaps you can become aware of what others have started saying upon their notice of your doing things differently. Now, you want to take this positive belief and refined behaviors and imagine yourself moving 1 year into the future. 1 year in the future, noticing all the changes you've done, all the new possibilities you've thought about, outcomes, all the new resources you've developed, the new sense of self, of who you are. 1 year. All after 6 months of empowering thoughts, 6 months of this new aperceptual sense of self, 6 months of this type of new behavior, pushing beyond 6 months, taking the energy of 6 months and move it into that year, which you can notice snowballing bigger and bigger in a positive way. Each month compounding within that year of successes. Each month where you have evidence of the difference in you that you've always wanted to make them now. In the future, as you look back and notice all the opportunities that have opened up to you, notice what people are saying within that year. And notice how other people that used to have the negative belief that you used to have that wasn't so useful, notice them and how it's affecting their life from this point of view. This point of being positive, proactive, taking charge of your life, making the decisions that empower who you are, and gather all this strength, gather all these successes, becoming the person you want to be. All the positive vibes, pull it all together inside yourself. And imagine looking at yourself now in the mirror, a year in the future, a year of already being that person. Look in the mirror. Do you look more alive? How's your energy? Has it begun to grow and gather in strength and power as you look at yourself now in the mirror? 1 year of having successes over and through time. 6 months. 1 year of people noticing the changes that you're making and the changes you are making, and allowing them to be a model so that you can make that model available to the world for others to discover. And the people you can help as you learn more about this and learn more about focusing yourself as you gather that strength and the wisdom and the knowledge of making a positive choice and moving in a positive direction inside, so that you're looking at your life and you're looking inside the mirror. Look how much healthier you feel. Notice how much more energy you have. Can't you? Begin to notice how your body feels different. And now, you want to imagine going 2 years into the future. 2 years of you experiencing positive successes. 2 years of empowering this belief. 2 years of becoming more and more of the person you want to become here and now. Notice the energy in your body. Does it feel more alive? Or perhaps you just feel powerful. 2 years. Look back at all the successes you've had, all those choices that you've made, that you are positive are your doing, all those opportunities that have been opened for you because you made the action. You were movement. You decided to just do it and driven to go for it. And notice how those attitudes and behaviors affect you now. Having had these behaviors for 2 years, 2 years of realizing this is a natural part of who you are. 2 years of the successes. 2 years of the benefits. 2 years of life results getting better and better now. 2 years of just doing what you want to do. 2 years of bringing with you the energy, the power, the influence, the results. And look in the mirror now, 2 years in the future. 2 years of bringing with you all this positive energy. Look in the mirror. Notice what you see. Do you feel more alive? Do you feel you have more energy? And look back at how easy it was to get to this point now. As you look back, you may notice the beginning when you first started. It may have seemed hard and tough, but as time moved on, you began to get more powerful. You began to learn more. You learned to become a powerful person, performing in this world. Now, take all this energy, all this successes, all these influences, all the possibilities, and you want to move 5 years into the future. 5 years of this is who you are. This belief is now a part of your being. Notice if your breathing has changed, how you are responding to people, how your feelings are changing to give you behaviors of the ideal you. How those situations in the past that used to bother you seem like dust and nothing, like smoke or vapor or steam. And notice how the more you're doing that, and the more you're feeling powerful, the more you can present yourself in the world in a more fantastic way. Look in the mirror 5 years from now. What do you see? How much more power do you have now? What do you say to people that used to have that problem that you used to have way back then, that allows them to learn and experience solution easily, effectively, and effortlessly? Look in the mirror. Is this the person that you prefer to be being? Is this a person that is aligned with what it is that you want for yourself in this arena called life? Really feel and absorb the feel of this energy. Are you looking more or less vibrant? Now, imagine 20 years. 20 years of bringing with you these successes. 20 years of bringing with you this sense of power and taking control of your life, choosing your destiny, becoming the artist of your destiny, moving beyond the mundane, the mediocrity, separating yourself from most people. How do you affect those around you, those you love? What kind of representation of you are you showing the world? What type of beliefs are you teaching them? Maybe you have kids or nephews or family. What is it that you are teaching them? What is the overall vision or purpose you are pursuing in life by having this belief that affects all those people, that affects yourself? What kind of energy are you bringing to the world? Are you being a giver to make this world better? To make yourself better? to bring this type of energy compared to the other way? You have a choice as you are exploring these lines and boundaries of experience that you can represent to you ways that are for the invigoration of your power, that every thought and action you take or do not has an effect on your life. 20 years in the future, having had all this success, power, personal pride, connection, certainty, significance, contribution, all inside you, getting stronger with a soft flow of ease, serenity, and joy become patterned in. 20 years of the successes, all the people you are teaching by example, and how they affect the world. 20 years of bringing with you this energy that naturally builds like an oak tree with its thick roots, bark, and branches, powerfully growing over and through time. This energy growing inside yourself now. Look in the mirror. Are you proud of what you see? Is this the person that you know you are? Now, move this even further than 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, all the way to the end. And then turn around and look back at your entire life and ask, was this worth it? How good did it feel to do this and live this life when you know that this was your life? That was the path you chose. You chose that path. You created that path. You brought the power behind that path into this world. You can realize that your path was a representation of all those that were around you and the understandings you taught them that they could grow. Being a pioneer, forging your way through, becoming the powerful you are now looking at. Bringing this energy. Notice how powerful this energy is. How that energy, just by other people being around it, affects them. You are a model for all these people. Open up the gift of you and give it to them so that they too can shine. They too can have the acceptance within themselves to be okay by shining their light, stepping into their own power, and noticing the gift that they can have as they begin to learn that. Begin to learn you by example. and move that deep off into the distance, and then snap it back in, strong, powerfully impacting an emotional imprint that flourishes inside yourself, and allow it to circuit itself in. You want to breathe deeply and allow this energy to flow throughout your systems and cellular structures, learning, feeling it, radiating throughout as it bathes your cells throughout your body, so it begins to course through your veins, feeling that energy weaving through your muscles, bonding through your bones. And take a few more deep breaths with a smile to encode more in as it expands and transforms the energy around you. You want to bring in several more deep breaths to have this reach in further into the soil of your subconscious, so that like an acorn, your growth and drive naturally sprouts to your future, while you solidify this energy like a sphere that wraps around, protects, and emanates who you are, and seals this in and around. You have this to protect yourself through life, so that when situations come, they bounce off, and some of them transform for the better just from the interaction of the direct power of yourself. Perfect. That's right. Now you want to breathe in deeply 5 more times. Allow it to begin to overflow this energy and have it drench through your timeline so that it fills up this room and then gushes forth so that you can understand its road, and allows you to easily follow that trail of power so that you walk the path line, so that you are pulled and compelled to be moving forward and make those changes, and only as fast as you are ready to come back to here, to realize that that energy has already been in your future. All you have to do is notice that difference and make the decisions that go there and walk that line. Only come back as fast as you are ready to integrate this inside yourself. When your eyes are open, perhaps you may notice that things feel just a little bit different. Things may look clearer and have a different focus as things shift and rearrange inside. You can smile now and notice the differences.